Hey guys, Little Black Playbook is back and ready to give you everything you need to know in the world of sports, lifestyle, entertainment, fashion, beauty, all of it. Because the everyday woman is just the perfect mix of sports and lipstick. I'm Chelsea Stark-Jones, and for this video I'm going to give you the recap of the first 4 weeks of the 2018 NFL season, break down to you the storylines, the surprises, and also give you some of my MVPs so far through these first 4 weeks. So let's just get started here. For our surprises, let's start with the 1-2-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. What? The Steelers, my team. So this is actually very hard for me to voice my concern for my Steelers. The Steelers have started off to a horrible start. Their defense just hasn't been looking good. They've been giving up a lot of points, as well as not getting their key players involved in the offense. Antonio Brown, where is he? He has not had one game over 100 yards yet this season. He has had 3 touchdowns, but that's just not AB type numbers. Let's get real. Big Ben has admitted that he is not on the same page as most of his teammates are. Hello? No one wants to hear that, Ben. Come on, guys. What the hell is going on? This was a team that most people thought would be coming out of the AFC, and they don't even look like they can make it past their division. So, I don't know what's going to go on with these guys, and we also thought that James Conner in week 1 would be the perfect solution to a missing Le'Veon Bell. That just hasn't panned out. Conner, week 1 versus the Browns, 135 yards and 2 TDs. Since weeks 2 through 4, only 97 yards and 1 touchdown. So they need to find a way to click. They need to find a way to gel, to move forward, and it's just, it's frustrating to watch. They look sloppy, undisciplined, and a team with no mission, you know? So, I don't know. We'll see what Tomlin has for us this week when we play the Falcons, who are 1-3, but they're a deceiving 1-3. The Falcons are still really good. You got Julio Jones, you got Matt Ryan. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm actually very nervous. So we'll see how that goes this week. Moving on to the Patriots. Yes, the Patriots. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and people got real scared when they lost 2 games in a row to the Jags and to the Lions. You know, the Patriots kind of do this early on in the season where they kind of look a little bit like, is Tom getting old? Should we be worried? Should we be scared? And they did it again this season. You know, people were betting against the Patriots last week when they were set to play the 3-0 Dolphins, which you just don't do. Tom Brady said, hold up, folks. He threw for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns in a very convincing win versus the Dolphins. Now, this week, Brady gets his guy Julian Edelman back, which will be huge for him, and he also has some more time to get more acquainted with Josh Gordon, who the Pats acquired in a trade with the Browns. The Pats currently sit behind the Dolphins in the AFC East, but I don't see that lasting for much longer. So Dolphins, Miami, enjoy that time at the top, because sooner or later you're gonna go down. Now, let's get into some headlines. First things first, Le'Veon Bell. If you're not familiar, the Steelers placed a franchise tag on Bell, so he was not feeling it because he has been trying to get a long-term contract for a very long time. So he decided, you know what, I'm just not going to show up, guys. Sitting out. I'm going to be clubbing in Miami for a little bit. I'll let you know when I'm ready to come back. So he says he'll be back week 7 of this season, which will be the Steelers' bye week. So he'll have 2 weeks to prepare for their next game with the team. If you're not familiar with exactly what a franchise tag is, it's something that teams do. They place a franchise tag, they're able to do it on one player, and it's essentially just a 1-year contract, and they have to pay that player the average salary of what that position is for that player. So Le'Veon was not feeling that because he feels he deserves a long-term contract. And most players don't like the franchise tag because it is such a grueling sport. You never know what's going to happen on each play, so they want some type of security. So no one really likes getting franchise tagged, and especially for someone like Le'Veon, who's been at the top of his game throughout his career at his position. So he, give the man his money, pay that man some respect. So he decided to sit out. I don't blame him for sitting out, but I'm also really not that hyped about him coming back. Maybe I should be, considering Conner hasn't been that great the last 3 weeks. But I don't know. Are we just padding up his highlight reel? Is he considering staying and playing with the Steelers past this season. Those are things that I would want to know prior to like putting all my support behind Le'Veon Bell again. But then that also leads us to Earl Thomas, who with the Seahawks broke his leg last week. Earl was someone that was also going through a contract dispute with the Seahawks. He wanted more money, he wanted more security, and he even thought about sitting out this season, but decided, you know, I'm gonna play for my brothers, I'm gonna play for the Seahawks, for the city. And you know, just didn't pan out so well. He broke his leg, he got carted off the field, and was seen giving the Seahawks bench the bird. You know, it's not classy, but I also don't blame him. Like I said, these guys are going out there risking their bodies, risking their livelihood, their health, and they want to get paid what they feel they deserve to get paid. And someone especially like Earl Thomas, who is the best safety in the NFL, deserves to get that type of money. So, you know, it's a very unfortunate situation. It's a very sad situation. So Earl is out for the season, and it's very likely that he played his last game as a Seahawk. Now on to some brighter news. The Browns. Yes, brighter news. The Browns are no longer winless. Good for them. Yes. Cleveland, they started off the season with a tie versus the Steelers, which, you know, isn't a loss. And then week 3 against the Jets, they were down. And Baker Mayfield came in for a concussed Tyrod Taylor and just dominated, rejuvenated the city. Everyone loves it. They got free beers for their first win, so of course everyone loves it. And yeah, you know, they didn't continue on with winning, as they did lose to the Raiders in overtime, which was a very close and a very good game. But people are rallying behind Baker, and you know, I don't blame them. He is playing with a chip on their shoulder, or chip on his shoulder. He is playing rough, he's playing gritty, he's honest, he's exciting, he's electrifying. So good for Cleveland, good for the city, good for the Browns, and hopefully they could kind of keep this momentum going and just, you know, win a couple more games this season. We'll see. Now for my MVP candidate. So for the first 4 weeks, there have been some players that have just been killing it. There's been a lot of players that have been killing it, but I'm going to give you my 2 MVPs and 1 honorable. I am going to give you my 2 MVPs and 1 honorable mention. So, first things first, my defensive MVP will be going to Khalil Mack. Yes, he was traded from the Raiders to the Bears and gave every Raiders fan that I know a freaking heart attack. Everyone was super pissed at Gruden. No one was happy about it, and I would be too. That's the best. That's the face of your franchise that you're just shipping off to another team. WTF. But luckily for the Bears, he has been killing it. He has had 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 pick 6 this season so far. And the Bears are surprisingly 3-1. They're on top of the NFC North. So good for them, good for Khalil, and I see this continuing on throughout the year. Now let's get to our offensive MVP. I was going back and forth with who I felt deserved this honor for the first 4 weeks of the season, but I'm just going to go ahead and give it to the veteran, Drew Brees. Now, the Saints are 3-1, and Drew has thrown for 1,295 yards, 8 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And he is on track to break Peyton Manning's all-time passing yards record this weekend. He only needs 200, so we could surely bet that he's going to get it. So good for him, and an early congratulations. And my honorable mention will actually go to Patrick Mahomes, who is killing it for the Chiefs. He is leading them to a 4-0 record. He has 14 touchdowns in the first 4 weeks of the season, which is also an NFL record, and no turnovers. So good for you, Patty Mahomes. Good for you guys. And you know what? The Chiefs typically start off really hot, but then kind of, you know, pipe it down. But I actually see this train going for a while. I see the Chiefs actually being a solid contender in the AFC this year, and they're also not in the strongest division, so that also helps them. But I see the Chiefs maybe being a 1 or 2 seed. I don't know. And last, let's get to some games to watch. All right, guys. So this weekend I have 2 games that are going to be on my my docket that I'm most excited about. Not the Steelers and Falcons game, I'm actually kind of nervous. But I am excited to see the Jags versus the Chiefs, which is a potential AFC championship game. And that is at 10 a.m. or I guess 1 p.m. on the East Coast. And then the afternoon game will be the Vikings versus the Eagles, which is a NFC championship game rematch from last year. So that'll be fun. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm going to be giving you so much more this season. Lots more talk about the season, the recap, fantasy, also some recipes on cooking, lifestyle hacks, fashion, everything, just everything that you need. Again, guys, I'm Chelsea Stark Jones, and I'll be talking to you later.